Okay, so this is take 6, and we are working on the last layer. Actually, this would be the second to the last in the explosion box, but this is the last layer. And remember, we took the regular number 6 3/4 inch envelopes and we sealed them up, cut them down to 3 inches, and then trimmed off the end. So now we have these open envelopes that we need to work with and close up so we could be able to use them. What I'm going to do is open these up, and I'm going to tack down the little paper ears that are loose just to be on the safe side. They don't catch on anything. We'll go around and glue those down. Then I'm going to go and I just want to distress, when you open it up, I just want to distress the edge where the paper comes up. So I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to tack these down in an angle. And I like the color of these envelopes because they're already blue and white. So I'm just going to fold an angle over and tack it down there, and I'm going to bring the flap up, and I'm just going to close off. I'm going to close off this little end right here. So here's the envelope. It's opened up. Distress this corner here, wherever the opening is, the side and the top. Tack down the edge where the flap is to close, because I don't want that side open. There we go. When you put down your number 6 regular envelopes, the ones that you cut down to 3 inches wide, make sure when you put them on the base that all the openings go one way, whichever way you decide to put it down. I had to remove this one because the opening was not in the right spot. And because it was not in the right spot, I had already prepared this paper to go down, and when I fixed it, I still had this crease, so when I went to de-stress it, this crease right here shows. So make sure you're doing everything in the right direction. And I didn't mention, but you can use any distress ink you want, but I have used frayed burlap throughout the whole thing. So let me go ahead and reattach this down real quick. And my bird has picked up the squeaking of my ATG gun, so it gets kind of annoying when my ATG gun starts squeaking. Oops, make sure you flip it over. I almost made another boo-boo. When my ATG starts squeaking, my bird starts squeaking, so it's kind of like, gets nerve-wracking. Then when the dumpster comes, it does that backup beep, beep, beep. Birds do that. When the phone rings, the birds will say hello. So they mimic a lot of stuff. So this is where the old adhesive was when I'd fastened it down the wrong way, and even though I'm going to cover it, I don't want anything to stick to it yet. So when you have these down, you're going to go around and glue. Alright, so you glue these little pockets down, except for this one. So we're going to glue, before we do any gluing, on your envelopes, see what I've done here? This is the look I want. So I fold it over the top, and I'm going to leave the envelope the way it is. I like the little blue and white. And what I did was I cut a piece of cardstock the full length, which was, where did I put mine? Out of a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, you can get 4 cuts at 6 1/4 by 3 13/16. And this is going to cover the whole length of this envelope, and that's what I wanted. So I can't see if you could see this. So you can get 4 pieces out of a 12 by 12. Again, that's 6 1/4 by 3 13/16. And then you're going to attach attach that down. Make sure everything's distressed. You're going to attach that, score it down, getting tongue twisted here. And then you're going to score from the top down. You're going to score it 4 3/8, and that's, you're going to connect that to your little pocket. So then you're going to bring the corner down over and you're going to line it to the edge of your cardstock. And what I did was tacked down this part here. I glued that down first, and then I put my brad on the cardstock before I attached the cardstock to the paper. So let me go ahead and show you how I did that. So I glued, let me go over here, I didn't do, which one did I lay down? This one. Let's see if I can take off, get these to sit down. So your envelope that opens up, let's see if I can get this in the screen. I'm trying to look at my camera or my computer to see if I can get some more light. I don't have lighting, so my videos are dark. Okay, so here is, I'm going to put my distress here and hold that down. So here is the open envelope that you've attached, and I'm going to fold this corner over to the edge and press it down. And then I'm going to get my nice little shiny waxy paper, and I'm going to go ahead and distress this because it is going to show a little bit. So let's go ahead and distress that. This regular envelopes are kind of thin, so I don't want to, and I have a heavy hand as well as a heavy foot, and I'm going to be careful distressing, trying to be careful distressing that corner piece. So I'm going to go in and just put a light bead across. And I want it to stop right where this piece is. Oh, where's my rag? I'm going to press those down, just like that. So now I'm going to glue this flap down. And you only need to go on the outer side. And that's all you need for that. And then you're going to press that down. So once you've got that down, then you're going to take your I'm going to go ahead and tack this little piece down. I don't want to do the under part, I just want to do where the flap comes to the right side. Which means I'm going to come across the top of the cardstock and bring it over. Flaps on here, the prongs. It's not center, so they're off on one side, so I want to use the side that the prongs are sticking out to center my, or position my star down. So I'm going to lay it down flat with the prongs up, and I'm going to punch a hole where, I don't think you could see the prongs right here. I'm going to position my star like about right there, and then I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to hold it down, and then I'm going to press right where the prongs are in that center point where the star goes in, and then I'm going to puncture my hole there, and there's my star. So if I position the star any other way, it's going to go way off like that. So I want it right there. Pat you down with. And I want to make sure I get some of this adhesive right over the prongs. And make sure these are pushed down so that there's no adhesive sticking out that'll grab any other papers. Alright. So now, there's the one I did right here. So now I'm going to lay this down. I kind of want to make sure I get it lined up before it goes down. This really likes to stick to your fingers. Okay, and down she goes. Get my waxy paper. Make sure this is pressed down. Be careful where the brad is. Fold that over. Now I'm going to attach my red piece down. Okay, make sure there's no adhesive sticking over the sides. And then I'm going to lay this one down. This one looks like it's missing a little bit of distress right there. There we go. And then take my waxy paper, make sure this is down. Good. There we go. Two sides. Can you see that? So I have two sides done. And what I have is a pocket here. I have a pocket here, which I need to glue down this in. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. So I need to glue that down. And then, so this would be a pocket, this would be a pocket, and then I want this loose. So let's go ahead and glue this down and finish these up. But here you go, that's the inside, red flaps. And there's little brads with the pockets going in. Now if you cut these the way I did, where you use the full length, if you're using a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, you can get 4 6 1/4 by 3 13/16 pieces. Then 4 of these left. So what I'm going to do with these 4 is how you have this writing piece, that's this back part, and then this here is this part here. I'm going to turn this over so I can bring that design over to the back end. And I'm going to cut these, trim these down to fit, and then I'll have all 4 done there. So let me measure this out. Actually, what you have left over after you cut these pieces, these are actually 5 3/4 by 2 7/8, and I'm going to trim these down to, I'm going to leave the width but trim them down to 4 3/8 to have them fit the back. And you do want to be careful when you're putting the backs on, because we did put the brads on there. When you're pressing these down, you want to be careful because there is a lump right there. Part of advice would be to go ahead and do the back ends first, because this was a little hard with the brads. So if you're, my advice would be watch the videos and take notes. Watch it. I know there's a lot of takes on these, like 6, maybe 7 total. Just take notes and watch it first, and then go back, because there's things that you may want to do your own way. And I'm honored if I'm able to show you how to do one, and you can complete one using the same techniques I did, but do the backs on these first and then go over and do the fronts. So this is done. So let's go in and see what we've got here. So this is what, too bad I don't have a video camera that'll shoot the whole thing, but this is the explosion box, and I believe we've done it all. Number 10 envelopes with the number 10 policy open end. I don't know if you can see that. There's the little flaps for those. Then next came the Stampin' Up! Envelopes, which are not in the kit. And these are the Stampin' Up! Whisper White open end. So that's the next layer. Then the layer that I added was the number 6 3/4 inch regular envelopes. That's what we just did today. And that goes down. And then you have the number 1 coins envelope yesterday that my Miss laptop here got menopausal on me and froze up some, damaged some takes. So total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pockets just on one side. So that's 40 pockets that you have, and if you want to count the little ones I did, and I did this for a reason here to stick a little tag in, then you're looking at 44. It's not bad for an explosion box. And then you just bring all these in. Now we do the decorating and the tags. What I like to do first are the tags that go inside, so that way I see what I have room to decorate with. Before I do the tags, I'm going to do I want to work on the centerpiece. So I need to figure out how much height I have. So 6 and 5/8. Then if you put the lid on, so 6 and 5/8, that gives me just a little peeking room. So now if you don't like how your little flaps stick out, you could go in and put little decorative paper clips down to hold those down, and that's what I'm going to end up doing, because the centerpiece that I want in here, I want it to peek out through the tab here, and I don't want my flaps to interfere. So let me show you. See how the flap interferes with the see-through hole there? So I want to use some decorative paper clips, and that way if I put them down, then I have that clearance. So there we go.